Hello friends, welcome to our Tuesday lunch chat. I'm Sarah. I'm the owner of Not Another Hat here in Hood River, Oregon, and I'm coming to you live from right inside my store. Let me just kick things off with an apologies for any loud booms and noise because they're doing construction right outside the window. I didn't know that was going to happen, but that's fine. You may not even be able to hear it. Sometimes it seems like really loud stuff to me doesn't even make it through onto the video, so bear with me if you can. I have so many beautiful, lovely things to show you today, but we're going to kick things off with... I can't believe... with my emotional support chicken. I fell down that rabbit hole, friends. I couldn't resist. And now I'm petting her. So I can't believe I made that noise. It seemed like a really good idea until I was like halfway through. Okay. But now it's on video to live for all posterity. So Jill has been knitting chickens. We are fond of chickens here. If you've ever been physically to the store, you would know right here above me on our egg basket light fixture sit 3 knitted chickens. These predate the emotional support chicken craze. They were made almost 15 years ago, or probably 16 years ago. But it was logical to when the emotional support chicken hit the oh my gosh, I'm sorry, zeitgeist that Jill would naturally want to make some. So she's been making them and they're just so adorable. Everyone's been asking about them. And so she's going to teach a class. So I thought if Jill's going to teach a class, I better make one too, right? So I made her this weekend. Mine is a little beefy. She's just like me. Because I had this bulky weight hand-dyed yarn in my stash that I wanted to use. So I went up a needle size, calls for a 7 with worsted. I went up to an 8. And I just totally made this out of my stash. If you go to Instagram and look at my stories, I took a quick video of my stash because now I'm looking at my stash with all new different eyes. My whole stash is now chicken fixins. And you won't be able to make just one. I know you won't. So anyways, if you would like assistance navigating the pattern, it's a great pattern, but there are some things that are open to interpretation that could be clearer, which is why it's going to make a great class. So that's an in-store class. It's going to be July 14, 21, and 28. And you can sign up for that right now on our website. We will provide the safety eyes and the polyfill for that. So you'll just need your yarn and needles. My chicken doesn't have eyes yet because I was so impatient and I didn't have safety eyes at home and I just wanted to finish. So Jill very smartly suggested I just sew on some buttons for eyes, which I'm going to do. But I do want to point out a couple of things. This is totally a great stash buster, but we have a couple of yarns you might want to consider in your chicken if you're going to make a chicken. Make It Tweed. Holding this along with your stash. I am definitely making another one. I have a friend whose birthday is coming up and she loves chickens and I'm going to make one. This is the other thing you should definitely hold along with your chicken to give it just a wee touch of class. Bling. Yeah. Dead serious. Lang Paillettes. Could you imagine? Your chicken would be ready for a black tie affair if you made it with a little bit of bling. So check it out. It's really fun. I whipped this baby together mostly Saturday, finished up the seaming, the little bits on Sunday and stuffed. So it's really fun. I thought I would hold out. I thought I wasn't needing to do this, but I was wrong. I was wrong. And if you think you can hold out and you don't need one, you're wrong too. So there. Can we talk new accessories? When I was at market, I found some of the most beautiful stitch markers I have ever seen ever. These are all stitch markers. and I buried them, so let me unbury them really quick. These are beautiful magnetic markers, sets of 32. There's little flowers in cool tones, like small, and flowers in warm tones. And then there's medium flowers. This is the wildflower colorway. This is cherry blossoms. They're so cute, and they're magnetic. So if you're a Coconuts fan, they'll stick to all of your Coconuts magnets and accessories. There's also ring markers in the cool tones if you just want to keep it simple. And ring markers in warm. And then there's tiny little rings in lavenders. And there's giant ones in a mixed, these fit up to a 17. So if you like to make big stuff. So all of these are super fun, but also there's this adorable box. Packaging, friends, right? What? You could get them all in this little box. So if you're going to be doing the upcoming Olive Knits Knit Along and you want to put markers between your lace repeats, which I highly suggest, these would be perfect. So check those out. All Stitch is the name. ALLSTITCH. So it's like one word, All Stitch. Also, last week, I need to make a quick amendment. I was all set to show you my Spill the Tea accessories that we got in, the markers. And I left out a cool accessory that I got in for Spill the Tea. So, Twice Sheared Sheep makes these adorable ring counters that you can hang on your needle to help you keep track of increases, decreases, lace repeats, things like that, or what row of the pattern you're on. And we got in this cute little guy. It's a teacup, little heart in the top there. And I totally meant to show you this last week, so check these out. They are the most beautiful way you could count your rows ever, truly. And what better than a teacup row counter? Oh, I left out, sorry, I left this one out. There's also these gold stars. Ah, they're so fun. And I can tell you that All Stitch is making the coolest accessory for knitting. And I'm not going to tell you anymore because it'll be out later this summer and I've ordered it already. So we have it on pre-order. We'll just have to wait and see it when it gets here. Stephanie, thank you. I'm going to take a quick time out because Stephanie complimented my earrings. My sister gave me these. They are from old vintage English tea tins. There's a gal that cuts them out and turns them into earrings. And they are, I love them. I try to wear them any chance I can. Do they weight down your needles? No, these are all very light. I mean, I would say they're the same as a Coconuts marker if you've ever used a Coconuts marker. I'm so sorry. Jen asked if the stitch markers weight down your needles. At first, I thought Jen was weigh down your needles. I thought Jen was asking me if my earrings would weigh down my ears. All right, moving on. Okay, I want to make sure you all know about one of my designs that has now become available to the public. It's from the Good Vibes Yarn Tour, and this is the deep shawl. And I feel like maybe I can't remember if we talked about it already. I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but hey, not everyone sees every video, right? So odds are you don't know. So this is 2 skeins of fingering yarn. It works really well when you have 2 colors that kind of go together, not necessarily like contrasting super bright. This was from our Under the Sea tour, and my yarn dyer was Murky Depths, and she designed these tonal colors for me based on a picture of a manta ray. And they're so beautiful and just so oceany, like deep, deep ocean. One of them is called Manta Ray and the other is called the Mariana Trench. And so this is the shawl I designed with them. I was kind of inspired by some of the stripes that are on Tropical Fish. And then we have like little bubbles, like little air bubbles throughout. So you can see it kind of goes back and forth with these stripes that don't go all the way across the row. Nice asymmetrical triangle, and it's fairly mindless until you get to one of the little stripes and they're not complicated. So I thought that I'd show you a few yarn options maybe. If you love this really subtle blue on blue or violet on blue, we actually have this on our website, so you can find this. It's Murky Depths deep sock. Go figure, right? That's why the pattern's named Deep, or part of why. So you could actually make it in the same colors, but I also grabbed some beautiful new Madeline Tosh colors that we just got in that I think would be very nice. I am so smitten with this peachy color, and this is not normally in my wheelhouse, so I don't know what's happening. But we have here Spring Fever. This was the LYS Day special color. And how beautiful is it with Afternoon? I really like it. So this would be gorgeous. In the more oceany kind of realm, we've got Aqua Pixel and Boom Slang. Such a great name. So Boom Slang's picking up those deep dark speckles in the Aqua Pixel. Love this one. This is like English Garden combo right here. We have Big Sur, very appropriate name. And this one is called Asking for a Friend. Aren't those gorgeous together? More contrasty for sure. So this would definitely be a more pronounced stripe, but they're so beautiful together. And then in the more tone on tone, we've got this Electro Magic and Beautiful Liar. So there's a little bit of inspiration for you. And then we have this other new yarn that would also work really well if you're into tweed. Let me just get it all in my hands just a second. Check out the Engineer. So this is a new yarn from Woolerton Estates. I met Zoe, one of the dyers, last year at market, and they make beautiful yarn. And Zoe had this picture on their phone that was this tweed. It wasn't in their booth yet. They weren't quite selling it yet, but there was a picture. And I took a picture of the picture. And finally, a year later, when we had an opening in our fingering selection, I emailed Zoe and I was like, hey, I don't know if you remember this, but I've got this really random picture that you showed me. And they were like, oh, totally, absolutely. And now we have the Engineer. Ooh, look at these colors together. This is beautiful. This was random. So you could totally use the Engineer to make my deep shawl as well. So go to their website if you have a chance. Every base has a character and a card. You can even order these as prints. And there's a picture. Oh, we covered it up with our tag. Hold on. Shoot. There's a picture of the actual estate. So they bought this estate. Oh, no, here's a good one. They bought this estate. This is in Canada. And they've dubbed it Woolerton Estates. Very a la, oh my gosh. I just blanked on the name. Not Bridgerton, the one that came before that with the English aristocrats, etc. Anyways, and every yarn base has its own little player and title, and they're great. There's so many. They're so humorous. But this is just a really beautiful smorgasbord of color here. And this is, it is a fingering yarn, but it would be so perfect for a shawl, like the deep shawl. Like I was just showing this, or this, or, ooh, oh, if you're into the, if you're a warm tone person, these two would be beautiful. I also personally love fingering tweed for making lightweight sweaters. Like Carol Sunday's Old Town. Y'all know I've made that a couple times. Marie has several sweaters that are in fingering or light sport, and this tweedy yarn would be wonderful. I just bopped myself in the face with this tag. Oh yes, Julia, thank you for catching that. Downton Abbey, thank you, Lee. The Spring Fever color, that's this one that I showed you. It's in its own listing because it was the special LYS Day color. So Julia shared the link for that. So you won't find it with the rest of the Tosh Merino Light. Although at this point we could probably move it over. Okay, wait, I have to unbury my notepad so I can see if I forgot to talk about anything else. Teacup chain counters, check. Woolerton Engineer, check. All stitch markers, check. Emotional support chicken, check. All right, I guess that's it. It's kind of a short chat today, but that's all right. We all have fun knitting to do, I'm sure. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you back here, same time, same place next week. Okay, friends, toodaloo.